Joining me now is Florida Congressman Byron Donalds of the House Oversight Committee. Congressman, he was drunk, he was high, he doesn't remember, he sent it to the wrong guy. I mean, the dog ate my homework. You were at that closed-door hearing today. What can you tell us?
Well, look, what I'll say is that there was a lot of obfuscation. There were times where he could recall heavy details of conversations, and there were times where he would say, I don't recall, I can't remember, I'm not sure about this, which, from my vantage point, calls into question how forthcoming he really was. Look, at the end of the day, there is more than $20 million that has gone through Hunter Biden and through Jim Biden to the family members of that family. That's number one. Number two, there's no real reason that we could even glean from this deposition as to why he was so critical to raise all this money, except for the fact of his last name. And he could never really come to a clear answer as to why he was so critical to be able to raise capital across the globe and make money across the globe.
Well, my concern about some of this deal with Hunter Biden is, look, it's classic Biden, right? They're always going to spin it. I mean, that's Washington. People spin everything. But he not only comes out and spins it with one line, but then he has a chorus of yes men and yes women who just say, oh, well, this is just a fishing expedition. There's no there. President Biden didn't get direct payments, as if, and I keep going back to this, Congressman, if your kids get millions of dollars for working, the idea that that doesn't benefit the parent in some way, it's just so ludicrous. You can't even talk about it. So it's a stupid line. Of course it benefits Biden. Even if it's just making him happy, it benefits him.
Laura, look, I totally agree. What I heard and witnessed today is actually indirectly in contradiction to what other witnesses have testified under oath. That is clear. And so, again, when you have these situations where one party's saying one thing, the other party's saying the other thing, what you then do is you follow the money. And without question, there is clearly, through the bank records, millions of dollars that have come from various countries and some of their main companies involved in those countries that have flowed to Hunter Biden and to family members and to business associates. And so the core question obviously still remains, when they got this money, did Joe Biden take advantage of it? Did he even have an opportunity for Hunter to pay some of his bills? These are the questions that remain to be answered. We're going to subpoena those documents to get that answer.
Congressman, does anyone ask him, how did you get so rich? How did your dad get so rich? What did you do for all this money? Has anyone asked him that? What did you do to get the money?
No, those questions didn't come up, and I think that what we were really trying to do was just get some point-blank answers to just key questions, key items that we had, compare that to other testimonies that we've received. I know the chairman has signaled that he will be coming back for an open testimony in the Oversight Committee. I think there's going to be some of those questions along those lines that you're talking about and many others.
Well, I think Tony Bobulinski is going to testify and before Congress in the open, so I'm sure he's going to have something to say about those contradictions. Congressman, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.